Hi again. I've got my dressing gown on this evening because it's a little bit cold in the church where I'm reading. And I thought it kind of fitted in with reading at late at night in the observatory. So this one is chapter -8, Meeting Up by Toldew and Jack's Matrix. Toll stopped reading and looked at Jax. Your turn? He asked. "'Kay," said Jax, taking the old manuscript and turning to look at the eager audience that had packed into the observatory. Sky and Minnow gave her the thumbs up. Jax grinned. "Well, then it happened," she said. Solo and his family were exhausted. After a long day of driving, they'd just arrived at the Bay of Magic Sea Dragons when a very large and strange vehicle overtook them. It was a black limousine, but longer than a regular limo, and it didn't seem to have any wheels. Jack stopped reading from the manuscript and said, "Actually, much later, Solo told me he thought our dad looked like a Batmobile. He thought our car looked like a Batmobile that he'd seen in one of his dad's old comics. At the back and on the sides were huge bat wings, and flames were coming from its exhaust pipes. It was a fantastic beast." Toll laughed. "Sure was." "You'd better take it from here," said Jax. Toll grinned and continued reading. Chapter -8, Meeting Up. "Whoa," said Bill. "Wouldn't mind one of those." Everyone stared at the wild car up ahead and moaned. Nell laughed. "So much envy," she said. "Hey, they're stopping at the store. Pull up and we can get a good look. I need a few things anyway." Bill pulled in alongside the limousine. As he did, two really tall people climbed out of the limo and nodded at him. Nell, Bill, and Tilly followed them into the store. Solo and Toll were intrigued by the car and got out to walk around it. One of the windows glided down and a girl's voice asked, "Do you mind?" Solo and Toll were a bit taken aback and both apologised at the same time. "Sorry," they said. "We didn't mean to stare," added Solo. The girl nodded and then jumped out. "I'm Jax," she said, offering Solo her hand. "We're staying here for the summer." Another door opened and a boy stood next to Solo. "Escher," he said, offering his hand. Escher had jet black hair and dark green eyes. He was quite a contrast to Solo, who has a shock of spiky blonde hair and eyes so blue that they look like the sky. Toll put down the manuscript for a moment. "As you can see, I'm blonde like Solo, but standing next to Jax on that day, I felt very pale. As you know, Jax has dark eyes and her hair is black and blue. She had it twisted into 4 long plaits on that day, and we were intrigued." Jax laughed. "My hair is always in 4 long plaits," she said. "I know," said Toll. "It's for the story, though." Jax shook her head. "Continue," she said. Toll started reading again. After everyone had introduced themselves, Solo suddenly noticed the car's number plate, and his face lit up. "Jackson Escher," he asked, "and your surname's Matrix?" "How do you know?" asked Jax. Solo pointed at the number plate, but he was actually remembering the electrifying lighthouse that had appeared to him a few weeks before. "Oh, yeah," said Escher. "Our dad has a thing for putting our surname on number plates." Solo nodded. "So cool," he said. But he told me later his heart was racing 100 miles an hour. "Is it a rental?" he asked. "Yeah," said Escher, "but Dad just changes the number plates anyway." "You should see our collection at home," said Jax. "Isn't that illegal?" asked Toll. Escher grinned. "Probably, but Dad doesn't always obey the rules." Solo and Toll nodded. "You're not from here?" asked Solo. "Land of ice and fire," said Jax. "This is our first time on Dragolan." "You should come to our place," said Solo. "We have a big party on New Year's Eve. It's for everyone." "Even ice witches?" asked Jax. I don't know if we've met ice witches, said Solo, but our parents won't mind. People from all over the universe are invited. You'll be welcome for sure, Toll added, clearly feeling Solo's excitement. Escher and Jax shrugged and asked, why not? And that was how the Matrix family came to know the Jews, although it was quite a while before Solo told anyone why he'd been especially friendly on that day.